Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Just wanted to go over the Ecoflow Delta and the new mini split that I've installed in my truck. So the mini split is installed up here, obviously. The hole goes through the wall and it's slightly tilted to the right for drainage so that when I'm parked on an angle facing this way, it's still level. It's plugged into the Ecoflow Delta, which will be replaced shortly with a Delta 2 Max. The wire for the AC comes up through the floor there, and then this is the charger that I'm using. This is a pure sine wave charger, and that will charge this as I'm driving up the road. So let's turn this puppy on and see how she does. So we're going to hit the power button, and it does take a minute to fire up and it takes a minute to start the compressor. Right now, with it just on the first level, it is drawing 24 watts, but that's going to go up quite significantly here in a minute. You can hear the fan ramping up. It does put out a lot of air, and that's not even on turbo mode, that's just on automatic. Sitting at 38 watts. Well, we're up to 70. See, it is slowly ramping up. Fan's blowing up higher. We're at 200 watts now. And I believe the compressor is kicked on. Coming up on 300 watts, so the compressor is ramping up. It is an inverter compressor, so you don't have that big initial surge. Now it says it's going to last 21 hours, but of course that's not the case. This is only a 1 kilowatt battery. Alright, we're at 537 watts. When it's first getting the truck down to temperature, it's going to run quickly to lower the temperature, and then it will ramp back down. So let's see where it tops out at. This is a 9,000 BTU unit, so that is a little bit overkill for in this small of a truck. It is an 80-inch sleeper or a 72-inch sleeper. But that should actually cool the entire front of the truck down as well. Oh, now it's starting to kick up into high speed. Coming up on 700 watts of output. And this battery will actually put out, I believe it's 1800 watts maximum. But we're at 700 watts now. You can hear the fan is kicked on in the Ecoflow Delta 2. Showing it'll run for about an hour at this high speed setting. We're at 734 watts, 740. This is definitely in high speed now. The set temperature on the unit is 73 degrees, so once it gets closer to 73, it will slow down significantly. The outside temperature right now is about 85 degrees, and there is no sun right now. So I'm just going to pause the video here for a minute. I'll check back when it starts ramping down. Alright, it's not even been a minute since I paused the recording and we're already down to 632 watts and falling fast. As we approach that 73 degrees, the speed will come way down. We're already at 523, 500 watts. You can hear the fan has turned off on the battery. You can hear how absolutely quiet it is in here though, with just that going and the inverter, or I'm sorry, in the battery, the Delta 2. Now it's saying 300 watts is what I assumed it would be at on the lowest setting. Now the reason that's a good thing is this will run about 3 hours on this battery at 300 watts. So there it is. That's the normal speed after it gets the temperature down. And being 9,000 BTUs, it should cycle on and off in here. You can see we're sitting at 295 watts. But it's already nice and cool in here. It's gone from 85 to 75 in less than 10 minutes. This is the Pioneer. This is $750 online. See, you got the intake on the top there, so it's sucking in the hot air. It's blowing it out cold from the bottom. It looks pretty clean when you install it. There is the little grommet there where it goes through the wall. You do have to drill a hole in the wall. But thankfully there's some supports back behind this wall that will allow you to hang the unit. Let's see where our battery's sitting at here. Yep, still at 300 watts. So this will run 3 hours on the Delta Flow 2. I actually have the Ecoflow Delta 2 Max on the way, which is twice the capacity of this one. So it should run for 6 hours on that one, even at this low speed. But the thing you have to remember is, now that it is cooled down in here, and especially at night, it will actually kick off as needed, just because it's way oversized for the cabin. But they don't make a smaller mini split than 9,000 BTUs. Definitely don't get the 12,000. The other reason I went with this 9,000 is because if you think about it, when the sun's beating down on the truck, it can certainly put a big thermal load on the cab of the truck to try to keep it cool. And this thing, I believe, even at full speed, will be able to definitely cool this in any conditions, even up to 100 degrees. The other thing to know is this mini split will also produce heat down to -15 Fahrenheit. So even on a cold day outside, you don't need to run the bunk heater. That's all you'll need. Alright, now to simulate driving up the road, we're going to see if we can do this without causing the whole thing to shut down. I'm going to flip on the inverter. I'll let you watch the screen up here. Alright, the inverter is on. Let's see what it does. Oh, now it's charging. Got 282 going out, 874. Ooh, nope. That immediately put it into overload. But hey, when I shut off, when the power cut, the mini split did not shut off, so that's good to know. I'll have to go into the app and turn the speed on this down. I only bought a 1,000 watt inverter. But that's it. I just wanted to give you an update on the mini split and the Delta, the Ecoflow Delta 2. Let me show you the outside, and that's it. So here's how we mounted the outside unit. As you can see, it's attached to the headache rack. It's not sticking out that far. It's not actually past the aerodam that much. So you'll be able to run a trailer on here without a problem, but I do flatbeds anyway. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. Alright, we're going to try the inverter again, so this will be a supplement to that first video. It's been running now for about 15 minutes. We're down to 263 watts. 258, and now we're going to flip on the inverter and see what she does. I turned the charging speed down to 800 watts, so it shouldn't draw more than 800. Okay, here it comes. Oh, it's not supposed to take 1,000. It's only supposed to take 800 watts. I don't know why it jumped up to 1,000. But that's the max of the inverter. It requires a pure sine wave inverter, so don't plug it into your modified sine wave or it's going to do absolutely nothing. It'll just click off. There it is. 1000 watts input, 235 output for the mini split. Now just to run some prices, you shouldn't pay more than $600 for this, and you shouldn't pay more than $750 for that. Installation probably took me about 4 hours on this one. Yep, 234 watts, and it is definitely charging the battery while it's going. It'll be charged in 15 minutes. So the idea is, even with this small battery, when I was going to use this one, what I was going to do was just to run this until it hit 10%, then start the truck and charge it. So that's one option. The second option is this Delta 2 will actually take a single extra battery right here on the side. So you can hook up a second battery up to 2 kilowatts, so that would triple the size of this. And I think with the additional 2 kilowatts, this thing would be more than enough to keep you cold all night. Let's see what happens if I cut off the inverter. Alright, there goes the power. As you can see, we're still going. So the UPS mode on this is good enough to keep that running. Alright, thanks everyone.